Howdy, with this video I want to go over the first essay, make sure you understand what I'm looking for there. The first two paragraphs of the essay are due on Friday, June 9th. Then the draft, I'll take a quick look at those paragraphs, then you'll complete the draft over the weekend and turn that in on Monday night, June 12th. And once those drafts are in, I'm going to send those out for peer reviews. Two other students will read your essay, offer commentary, try to help you out, and you're going to read two essays to try to help them out. We'll get those back on the 14th. Then you'll be able to revise the essay based on that feedback and then turn the final version in on the 16th. So it moves pretty quickly in this course. Again, it's a somewhat accelerated course, not at breakneck speed like a 3-week or 5-week course. But we're doing 15 weeks of work in 10 weeks, so if it feels like boom, 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 schedule kind of, hopefully it's more boom, boom, something's always coming due. Once you kind of fall into the routine, hopefully it gets, I don't want to say easy, but familiar to you. First it's like, gosh, it's already Wednesday, I got to turn something in. But hopefully once you kind of get into the rhythm, it works out for you. Again, if you're having trouble with anything, be sure to let me know and I'll try and help. Or if your boss, has you work 38 hours one day on a Wednesday, get on your phone, send me a quick email saying, hey, I'll get that to you tomorrow. And usually I'm going to be fine with that. The only time getting things in late gets to be a problem with the drafts because I need the drafts to do the peer reviews. But even then, usually I can work that out. But anyway, I want to go over the essay. You're going to find it. The essay's under the content page. Oops. You can just come over here to essay assignments, summer 2023. We're working on the self-regulated learner essay first. I'm just going to go ahead and download that. Again, this one's a fairly short essay. I know it doesn't feel short when you're writing it. We're just going to do the basic 5-part essay. If you're pretty recent out of high school, you probably had this before. If it's been a while, you may not be used to this. But it's kind of where we're going to start. I want to see where everybody's starting from. And then the last 3 essays, we're going to get away from this 5-paragraph essay format and write longer, more involved essays. But for this essay, you're going to write a 700-word minimum 5-paragraph essay employing MLA formatting. Again, that basic introduction paragraph you did for Monday or are going to do for Monday, depending on when you're watching this video, it shows you how to have just the basic MLA formatting with the header, your name, my name, class, section number, date, center the title of the paper, then go to the body of the essay. But we're also going to start working on quoting and citing a little bit. Nothing fancy. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. I'm going to give you the works cited page entry to copy into your paper. But I want you to kind of see how it works. Then with the next essay, we'll get into MLA formatting a little more hot and heavy, I guess. But you're going to analyze any 3 of the profile points of a self-regulated learner as they apply to you. Again, you're not telling the reader how they can be a better student. You're telling us why you're a good student or how you can improve as a student now that you're in college. The points come straight from that reading for journal entry number 3. No surprises there. And I kind of suggest picking maybe 2 points you're good at, maybe one you need to work on. Mix it up a little bit. If you do like 3 points you're bad at, all of a sudden the essay kind of sounds like you're just getting really down on yourself, and that's not the point of it. If you do, I'm good at, super good at, everything. Well, great. That's fine if you are. But it's up to you. But make sure you stay focused on your experiences and what specific efforts you have made, could make, or need to make to be a better self-regulated learner. Especially looking towards college level work, right? This is a very formulaic essay. The first 4 paragraphs should be at least 150 words each. That's the minimum. Your concluding paragraph should be at least 100 words. That's what the 700 word comes from, and that's why it says minimum. You're not shooting for exactly that number, but that's the minimum. Generally, with word count like this, if you're not making 150 words in a paragraph, you're probably not doing something quite right. And that's when you need to contact me and say, look, I got 130 words. I think I've done it all. I'll take a quick look at it and go like, well, you need an example here or do this here, and try and help you out. So, if you're not making the word count, that's the first sign that maybe something's not quite developing your ideas. Within the essay, you should define growth mindset from journal number 2 and self-regulated learning from journal number 3. And put that in your essay. It can be anywhere. It could be in the introduction. It could be in the conclusion. It's pretty much up to you. And you're going to put that on a works digest page and cite the sources in your essay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. In fact, I'm just going to give you the works digest page to copy into your essay. You should employ 5 uses of figurative language. If you're not quite sure what that is, there's a descriptive using description in your essay handout there on the help resources page. And do not use the words you, your, got, or get. They're just forbidden words. You're not telling the reader how to be a self-regulated learner, so there's no reason to use you. You're talking about yourself, so you should be using I, first person. No got or get. It's kind of a catch-all verb we use when we're not being particularly precise. I got COVID. I got a pizza. I got married. I got a girlfriend. Using the word got is just kind of a lazy verb that we just use when we're talking. We can kind of work that out of your writing and use a more precise verb there. And you want to avoid it at least to vague pronoun use or passive voice. You can almost always rewrite a sentence to get the word it out of there and have a better sentence. If you're using it like in a certain phrase, like if you say the word know-it-all, you can't really replace it with anything, so that would be okay. But generally we want to get it out of our writing if we can and write better sentences. So you're going to go through the points again. Again, you're doing it for journal entry number 3. And again, it's kind of up to you which ones you want to pick. When I look at this, I struggle to control my learning environment to eliminate or reduce the distractions. I got 3 teenagers in the house. I got 2 grandchildren in the house. There's about 8 or 9 of us in the house all at one time. It's hard to find a quiet place to get my work done. So that's something I really have to work hard and try to find a place to do my work and control the environment and make sure I'm getting my work done. You can write about that. What's your learning environment look like? That's kind of part of the first journal entry, right? Are you good at adjusting strategies or attributing failure to ineffective strategies? That's a hard one for me. I'll keep doing the same thing over and over, and I just get more and more frustrated. Then I'm just like, and I don't take time to stop and think, okay, is there a better way to do this? I want to kind of keep doing what I'm doing and make it work. Excuse me. You good at asking help? Or are you just somebody who would just rather go down with the ship instead of raising their hand in class? It's kind of do you utilize aids that are available to you? We got tutoring, the writing lab, all kinds of good aids for students who may be struggling with writing. Are you going to use those? Why not? You've already paid for them, right? And that's what that backpack link on D2L is for. But you're going to read through these. Everybody's going to write a different essay. Hopefully, I don't want to read the same thing over and over. And figure out, are you motivated to come to write essays and do it online in an English class? It may not be everybody's favorite activity, but can you get yourself motivated and realize this is a short-term goal to get to the long-term goal of a college degree or certificate or whatever you're going for. But you're going to figure out which ones you want to use. You're going to pick any 3 of those. And again, you're going to apply them to yourself and tell us why you're good at it or how you might need to work on it. There is a sample essay up under Help Resources. Well, yep, there it is. We'll download that. I need to open that. We'll pull that up. And it's when it's formatted properly, has the student's last name, then the page number, counting the page numbers, student's name, my name, class and section number, the date. I kind of pulled this from one of my dual enrollment students, so it won't be exactly what you're writing. And she's an awfully good student here, so and that's how she's going to start off. First paragraph, you want to introduce yourself as a student or in terms of your education. If it's been 20 years since you've been in school, that's a great place to start. In high school, I didn't pay attention and I just did well enough to keep my mother off my back so I could keep my driver's license and my car. But all of a sudden, maybe that didn't work well when you got out into, post high school and into college or into the work life. It didn't work well for me. I was not a good high school student, and when I got to college, I kind of got ran the first time. I got ran over a little bit until I developed my self-regulated learning skills. So she's going to introduce herself. And she's currently a student at Sullivan Central High School. Now it's Westridge, right? She maintains a 4.0. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. You can read faster than I can talk. But kind of notice the commentary on the side there. Criticizing it a little bit. It's a pretty good draft. I kind of pulled her draft here as an example. But she's describing herself. She's a senior. She's going to graduate in 5 months. She's going to go to college for 2 years, and Northeast State for 2 years, and move on to a 4-year school. She goes ahead and gives her definition of self-regulated learning. She's getting kind of fancy here. She's using her own words in sentence structure. So this is a paraphrase. So there's no quote marks around it. All I want you to do really is quote. We just take the quote word for word from the source and introduce it, put it into your essay, and then cite it. This is the citation there. But you can put that definition anywhere you want. And she kind of talks about self-regulated learning a little bit, and then leads into her thesis statement. And the thesis statement is the one sentence that tells us what your essay is going to be about. In a formulaic essay like this, where you have 5 paragraphs, at the end of your introduction paragraph, you're going to go ahead and put your thesis and give us your 3 points you're going to discuss. And those are almost coming straight from the assignment sheet, right? So here, as a self-regulated, and she's going to tell us the reason she's good at 3 things. Again, you might want to pick 2 you're good at, 1 you're not so good at, something like that. It's up to you. As a self-regulated learner, I've become successful at planning and organizing my work, controlling the learning environment around me to reduce distractions, and asking questions until I'm sure I've learned the material. So we got our 3 points there. So I'm going to spec a paragraph on planning and organizing work, controlling the learning environment, and asking questions. And I'm going to spec these paragraphs in that order. And again, if you hate this formulaic writing, we're going to get away from it with the next essay. A lot of people like this. It's like, yeah, please tell me what you want each paragraph, so I can kind of see what I need to do. Sorry if I'm not making you dizzy there. Then she gets into a paragraph about planning and organizing her work. And this is one of those students that walked around with not a binder, but a planner with all her assignments written down. If I asked her, what do you have to do in 2 weeks, she could probably pull it out and be like, I'm going to be doing this and this and this and this and this. She was that organized. I'm not quite that good at that. And she's one of those students where if I changed the due date, I got this because she had to go back and start erasing her planner, and she got frustrated with me. So she's going to go in detail and give good examples about how she's a good planner and organizer, and give specific examples and details about what makes her say that. So we got the planner. That's always in her backpack. Sticky notes with due dates, color-coded assignments, highlighting everywhere. And here I kind of complained a little bit. She kind of talks about highlight days and that I have tests or exams I need to study for. The comment kind of says she could kind of talk about that a little bit more. Make sure you're developing your examples. Make sure you can kind of draw a picture in the reader's head so we can kind of see exactly what that organization or whatever you're talking about looks like. And then she brings the paragraph to a close. Kind of complaining a little bit. She could use a good concluding sentence for that paragraph. Don't introduce the next paragraph at the end of the paragraph. Bring the current paragraph to a good close with a good concluding sentence. And that way your paragraphs kind of become mini essays where you just kind of start with the topic sentence. You kind of develop the body with good examples and details. Then you bring the paragraph to a close with a good concluding sentence. Then she goes on to the next paragraph about controlling the learning environment. Again, doing a good job with getting good details. Just complain about one of her sentences there. Again, could use a better concluding sentence for the paragraph. But a lot of us struggle with that, controlling the learning environment, right? So if she's figured out a good way to do it, she's going to tell us how she did it and why that makes her a better learner. But notice the details. If you're going to tell us you listen to music, what do you listen to? Are you listening to grunge music going na 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 na, or are you listening to Johnny Cash like she is, or soft music or classical music? The research tends to show you should listen to music that doesn't have speech in it, but what works for one person doesn't always work for the other. Then we get the next paragraph on asking questions. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you. Then notice he gets into the conclusion. You don't want to restate what you've already said in the essay. I've read it. You give me your thesis statement with the 3 points. You spend a paragraph on each of the 3 points. I get it. How's the self-regulating going to help you in your future here at college? How's it going to help you later in life and in your career or in your personal life? We have 5 kids. If we're not organized, the kids take over and it's chaos, right? So those organizational skills, the planning, short-term, long-term goals applies a lot to my family life. We just got to keep everybody on the same page and make sure we're all doing the same thing. There's the works citus page. That's exactly what you're going to do. The only thing you're going to change is the section number for the course. We're I05, not SC1. And notice you put the growth mindset definition in or concluding paragraph there. So good sample essay. Like I said, some people love this formulaic writing, other people hate it, but this is where we're going to start, and we'll move on from there. And again, on the help resources page, there's this descriptive essay hints. So I want you to use good figurative language. Let me go and download this. Start getting into colors or something, or you want to describe your desk. Just don't say you had a messy desk. Start giving good description. You have like sandwiches from 3 weeks ago molding under your laptop, or if it's super neat and everything. Tell us how you have your pins here, your stapler here, or whatever. And if anybody moves your stuff, you just freak out because you want everything in its place. But kind of go through the figurative language, similes, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, verbal irony. Verbal irony might be hard to set up in this essay. You might be able to get it in there, though. Sarcasm relies on verbal irony. But those are kind of new terms to you. You might want to go through, read that handout real quick. Because you do want some good descriptive language in this essay. Where'd it go? I've lost the essay. All right, I'll go back to it. But that's the essay assignment. I wonder where it got off to. Again, hopefully it's kind of something you're getting kind of familiar with in terms of format, and you're writing about yourself. So that hopefully that helps a little bit with the first essay, not stress everybody out on the first one. But if you have questions about it, be sure to let me know. And also, this should be kind of fun to read, right? I should see why if you're doing really well at a particular point, or how you kind of falling away on a certain point, and how you're going to make it better. But I'm going to hush up here, and we will talk to you later. Bye-bye.